Welcome, I'm Dr. Janine Bowering, naturopathic doctor, and today I'm sharing with you the benefits and myths of probiotics. So probiotics are the good microorganisms, our friendly flora that we have in our digestive tracts, and this is really important for overall digestion, for the utilization and the absorption of our vitamins, which is so important, as well as our immunity. And there's other benefits, and that's what I'm sharing with you today for probiotics as well. In terms of having a healthy microbiome, this is what you're always aiming towards, is having that proper ecology and diversity of the gut bugs, so the friendly flora in the digestive tract. And we have thousands and thousands of different species of those gut flora in our guts. And if this were a representation of an unhealthy microbiome, what you can see here is a lot of unhealthy bugs, gut bugs. These could be candida, could be parasites, it could be other bacteria that aren't so favorable for our digestion, and that isn't exactly what we want. This can cause symptoms of gas, bloating, constipation, IBS types of symptoms, diarrhea as well, lack of energy and fatigue, because often a lot of these bad bugs can be robbing us of our essential nutrients. Things like iron are notorious for when you may have parasites. So this is something that we definitely want to address, and we want to do this naturally. Well, how do we do that? Well, we have to ensure that we're getting enough of the good guys, the friendly flora, the probiotics, pro meaning good, wanting to get more of those probiotics into our gut to have that healthy diversity of those gut bugs, which we see here. And this would be a healthy microbiome. And this is something that we can definitely do by including more probiotic foods into our diet. So I have another video all about that. And I have a special tip and trick of what I do personally to help to ensure that I get enough probiotics. So that's coming up in just a moment. So now we'll take a look at a few studies as to some of the other benefits that you may not have heard about probiotics before. So one of them is in terms of our moods, and it has been shown in this study that Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus, so some of my very favorite strains of probiotics, have been evidenced to really help with reducing negative thoughts associated with having a sad mood. So yes, that mind-gut connection is very important, and that's called the brain-gut axis, and definitely there is a communication that happens between our gut microbes and our brain function. So that's really promising in terms of being able to actually help our moods, and to be able to do that by fixing our microbiome with probiotics. Another study indicated that even major depressive disorders are influenced by our gut microbiome. And in this study, the probiotic administration that was given to patients really had an effect on the Beck Depression Inventory, as well as some other promising things, which I love the fact that it helped with insulin, also helped in decreasing something called the HSCRP, so the highly sensitive CRP, which is something that I have discussed in previous episodes when we talked about leptin resistance and fixing your leptin resistance. So not only helping insulin and insulin resistance, but helping that inflammatory marker as well, which is so important, as well as helping glutathione concentration, which is really important for our antioxidant status in our body, and also had beneficial effects for SIBO, so the small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and candida. So that combination of, taking the right strains of those probiotics are very beneficial, we know, for many facets, as I said before, for immunity, but also for the way that we're feeling and our moods as well. So now I'm going to share some of the myths around probiotics, and probably one of the biggest misconceptions when I have discussions about probiotics with people is, oh, I can get all of my probiotics because I eat my yogurt every day. Well, this is maybe a partial truth, because the question about probiotics in yogurts is if they're actually alive, which often they aren't, especially if it's a dairy source and it's become pasteurized as part of the processing in the dairy industry, then there may not be a lot of live strains of the probiotics left anymore. more in that yogurt. Another aspect is that the potency is not standardized in traditional yogurt manufacturing. So how much of these live cultures are you actually getting? Another issue that I have with conventional yogurts is that they're so loaded with sugar. So I really want you, if you are eating yogurt, you're buying yogurt, check the labels for the amount of sugar and the grams of sugar in that yogurt. Often there's hidden sugar in here that you would never, really realize necessarily. So one of the things to look for is the high fructose corn syrup that can be added into the yogurt. Of course, it tastes great and it's nice and sweet, but we know that high fructose corn syrup is very inflammatory and it's not something that I recommend. So check the sugar in the yogurts. Now, one of the things that I like to do is to find a high quality yogurt. So this is a grass-fed dairy yogurt, organic, and to ensure that I'm getting the potency, and this is sugar-free, so there's no sugar and and another thing to look for is the artificial sweeteners, artificial sugars in yogurts, so sucralose and things like that. You want to avoid those as well. So this is a high quality yogurt with no sugar and no honey. So because I do watch my carbohydrate intake. So what I do to ensure that I'm getting enough of the strains is I add in my own probiotics. And because if you know me, I like things a little bit sweet. The prebiotics in the probiotic that I take helps to sweeten things up without the sugar. So this is fructooligosaccharides. This is a fiber source. It's a prebiotic that actually allows for the probiotics to propagate and to grow. So you're maximizing the benefits of your probiotics. And these probiotics are designed for the human digestive tract, which is also important when you're choosing strains of your probiotics. So all I do, because again, my yogurt is not sweet on its own, is I open up my daily dosage. So either 2 up to 4 capsules a day, depending on what's going on with my health and my immune system on any day, but most times it's 2 capsules a day. And all I do is I mix that in to my yogurt, and that sweetens it up a little bit because of the prebiotics in here, and I enjoy it that way. So that's something definitely that you can try, and we will share some links to some great probiotics in the description below. So I'm gonna just enjoy a little bit right now. So good. So you're going to absolutely love that. And you can also, of course, if you're not going to go with a dairy sourced yogurt, there's also fantastic coconut yogurts that you can do as well, and opening up your probiotics into the coconut based yogurt, or if you want to even make your own yogurt, that is fantastic as well. So those are different tips that you can use, and let me know in the comments. I want to know how that goes for you, because getting the right strains of, a high viability probiotic into and mixing that into your yogurt will really help with digestion and your immunity. So I want to hear from you. Leave it in the comments below how that's working for you. And one other myth about probiotics is that probiotic supplements are all created equally. And this has actually been studied. So most recently in 2016, we see in this study that the researchers found that only 1 in 16 of the probiotics that were tested actually perfectly matched what it said on the label in terms of the claims as to the strains of specifically the bifidobacteria probiotic in that supplement. So you really have to do your due diligence, and when you're choosing a probiotic supplement, you have to get it from a reputable company that makes sure that at the end of the shelf life that you're guaranteed to have that viability in those capsules, which often is simply not the case. So a good company is going to pack, when they're packaging the probiotics, at a much higher volume CFUs of those good strains of those probiotics at the time of manufacture, so that you're able to ensure that you have that viability at the end of the shelf life. So just food for thought. Make sure you do your due diligence when you're choosing a probiotic. So that's it. Today we talked about the benefits and the myths of probiotics. I showed you a great little tip as to how to utilize to ensure that you're getting more of those strains of those good friendly flora into your gut for your own health with yogurt. We talked a little bit about, some of the misconceptions about how good yogurt can actually be, but how you can ramp it up and get enough of those good flora in your own system. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Please give me a big thumbs up on this video. Be sure to share this video as well with someone that you know who will benefit from this information. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments, or if you've got questions about this video or about probiotics, I would love to hear from you. Or if you have an idea for a future video, I'd love to hear from you about that as well. So be sure, if you're new here, that you're subscribed, that you click that bell to turn on the post notifications, and click all notifications so you always get my newest and latest uploads, which happens every single day. And remember to always take good care of your health and to do it naturally. Thanks for watching today.